case you were thinking, the Alcohol Advisory Board, the Alcohol Advisory Council, is not what I thought it was. And here I thought we were going to get to recommend what wine to have with dinner. That is not what the Alcohol Advisory Committee is. So I only served on it for a year because you actually had to know things about health education. And I was like, oh, goodness, it has such a catchy title, though. I think all faculty would want to be on it. Jennifer, and I wanted to thank you for inviting me. I am really very humbled to be here. I never would have thought as an engineer that I would ever be in front of people who are health educators, and certainly not a keynote speaker, and I'm just so excited to be here. I do want to mention that the reason I'm here, and the reason why I've embraced the social norm approach in short, is that I've been collaborating at UVA with the Center for Alcohol and Substance Education, and Susie Bruce is the director, and she's also been promoted to another title. And being a good engineer, of course, I don't understand the organizational structure of anything over on the student affairs side, and don't understand any of their acronyms, and constantly ask the same stupid and ignorant questions over and over again, and they very politely answer them in different ways to make me not feel so badly. But Susie's wonderful, and it's just a pleasure to be able to collaborate with her. Before I explain to you why I'm embracing the approaches from your community, I do want to make certain that you understand what human factors engineering is. And I feel like you owe it to me. Since I understand the social influence model, then you should know what a task analysis is. I mean, fair is fair. And then I want to show you that there's actually a very natural linkage between the work that I do and the work that you do. And perhaps you should be nagging other human factors engineers to work with you, and you could blame it on me. I'm an officer in our National Human Factors and Ergonomics Society in the Cognitive Engineering and Decision-Making Technical Group. So I know a lot of my colleagues, and you can just blame it on me. But first, I have to give the obligatory plug. I actually went to University of Pennsylvania, so I was a Quaker, and I grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, so I only had to come across the river to go to school here. And there was a time after I finished my degree, and you'll notice I have 2 degrees because I never know what I want to do, and I end up thinking one thing and doing something else. So I have these 2 degrees in bioengineering and finance, but I do human factors. And I got a job with IBM. We were working on air traffic control systems, and what I like to tell people is that I used to be an engineer, and now I'm an academic. So now I pretend that I'm an engineer, and really just publish in the obscure journal of academic articles. But there was a time where I actually, was an engineer, and I think that has colored my whole view of my academic life. I went to Georgia Tech for my PhD, and sadly my first advisor had mental illness and was hospitalized, and so that gave me an opportunity to actually go on a research journey. So you might say, well, why was I going on a research journey? So I was working for IBM, and we were designing the air traffic control system, and I thought to myself, why in the heck would a professional air traffic controller want to look at a display that I designed that told that air traffic controller that aircraft were going to be in conflict? So just so you understand, what air traffic controllers do is they put a virtual hockey puck around airplanes. And if you keep 2 hockey pucks apart from each other, then you could avoid what you really want, which is no collisions. If 2 hockey pucks touch each other, they call that a conflict. So if you avoid conflicts, you avoid what you really want, which is collisions. So we were building these conflict avoidance algorithms and designing these displays. And it turns out that there's a whole field called human automation interaction, which is how people deal with their technology. And as you know, being users in the world, we really don't know how to do this, and it is a great field. Encourage anyone you know to go into human automation interaction, because everything you touch doesn't work well. It doesn't, isn't natural, and there's a lot of job security in my field. But eventually, I actually did finish and get my degree, and and now I'm at the University of Virginia, which is perfect for me because I went from a place that really loved Benjamin Franklin to a place that really loves Thomas Jefferson. Oh my gosh. And you can't have a talk if you're a person from the University of Virginia without having a picture of the rotunda, so there it is. All right, so what's this deal with human factors engineering? So engineers, we're really applied scientists and mathematicians. So the scientists and the mathematicians develop techniques, and we as engineers have to apply them to make stuff or make stuff better. And in human factors engineering, we're a subspecialty, and so we actually consider human performance and the limitations of human beings when we're designing our technology or developing our services. And it could be a flight deck display, it could be hearing protection, it could be making sure that elderly people don't fall, it could be making sure that on move-in day, the parents of our first years don't put their backs out. You know, all of those things to us is a human factors topic. Now, human factors, which is different from human factors engineering, is a larger discipline. And in human factors, it turns out that we're a very interdisciplinary area. So there are engineers, but we also have psychologists, we have social scientists, people in the business area who are looking at organizations. We have operations research people who are developing the algorithm, you know, for example, a scheduling algorithm to make, an HR function work better, workspace layout, you know, an architect could consider themselves a human factors person. Where I tend to specialize in human automation interaction is trying to understand how people make decisions so that we can build decision support, whether it's displays or controls, to make their jobs a little bit easier. So in the design space of human factors, you know, I fall into the decision-making and display area. However, if you do human factors, if you are a professional, you're already interdisciplinary before you get started, and so maybe that makes it much more natural for someone in human factors to be able to embrace something that's interdisciplinary. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, designing good systems, that's easy. I mean, we're all people. We know what people want. My goodness, anyone can design anything. But it's not true because we all have, you know, technology we don't know how to use, and it makes us frustrated. It takes time, so it's inefficient. Sometimes it gives your company a bad image when something doesn't work. You know, and people are constantly redesigning things. I remember when they made the pop-top cans with the bigger holes. I don't know if any of you remember the old pop-top ones that just had a smaller hole. And you're like, wow, what a good idea. You know, someone actually thought about what it meant to drink out of a can instead of just making the hole the size that was probably easiest to machine. Probably was the old pop-top hole. So I want to show you like the simplest of examples. So here we have a typical, you know, oven with burners on it. And, you know, anyone would walk up to this oven, and let's say you wanted to turn on the right front burner. You probably would pick one of the two right-hand buttons, the two right-hand control knobs. But which one would you pick? You'd probably, if you're going for the right and you're right-handed, you probably would go for the outer one. If you're left-handed, I'm not sure what you would do. Because clearly, we don't care about left-handed people. If you're not people, you shouldn't be here. I don't know what you're doing. You're a human factor person's nightmare. Just stop doing that. So probably if you're left-handed, you know, you would probably, if we watched you, you'd be probably 50-50. The people would turn the burner on. If it wasn't the one they wanted, they'd turn the burner off and grab the other handle, right? Not a big deal. You just wasted time and gas. You don't think about it, but what a freaking waste.